Uh, Today I will discuss the digital part and the topic is encoder. আচ্ছা এই এডমিটটা কি করতে হবে কি এটা অটোমেটিক এডমিট হয়ে যায়? কি দীপাঞ্জন, এই যারা জয়েন করছে তাদেরকে কি এডমিটটা করতে হবে? ऑटोमेटिक हो जाएगा এটা?
सर एडमिट करना होता है, ऑटोमेटिक नहीं होता।
तो करना होता है तो तुम लोग
यस
के पास
सर।
तो ऑप्शन दिख रहा होगा ना एडमिट के लिए।
सर कर देते हैं जब दिखता है कोई तो।
हाँ जब दिखे तो कर दिया करो क्योंकि फिर मैं अगर वो एडमिट करने बैठूं तो फिर एडमिट ही करूंगा फिर। ठीक है, तुम लोग ख्याल करो फिर।
ओके।
ठीक ठीक। ओके, टुडे आवर नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज encoder. I will discuss the it is in the combinational circuit. So encoder is what? देखो encoder क्या होता है? As you can see in the diagram, in case of encoder, a number of inputs are there and a number of outputs are there. Okay, not single, a number of output, a number of inputs. Generally, in case of encoder, the number of output is n, then your input should be less than equal to 2 to the power n. Okay, 2 to the power n से छोटा हो सकता है और maximum equal to 2 to the power n, your inputs are. This encoder is just reverse to the decoder. Previously, we discussed the decoder topic in classes. So decoder is just opposite to the encoder. Here the number of output is n. If the number of output is n, then the number of input is 2 to the power n, either less than 2 to the power n or maximum equal to 2 to the power n. Now here in case of encoder, an encoder is a combinational circuit, logic circuit that converts an active input signal into a coded output signal. Means across the input side, whatever the inputs are there, as per this input, you will get the output. In the input side, suppose a number of inputs are there, at a time, a single input will be active. Okay. At a time, across the input side, a single input will be active, and this single input is you will get across the output side a coded output. Okay, that means you can see here across the input side only one line is active at a time. Depending on that, we get the specific code at the output. Okay, so depending on the input side, some codes will be generated across the output side. Okay, I think it is clear. Now, we first discuss the very simple encoder circuit. So very simple encoder circuit is 4 to 2 encoder. 4 to 2 encoder. So in case of 4 to 2 encoder, you can see 4 numbers of inputs are there and 2 number of outputs are there. Okay, here n is equal to 2, the number of output equal to 2, and the number of input is maximum 2 to the power n, means maximum 4. It may be less than 4, maybe 2, maybe 3, but it should be less than 2 to the power n, or here it is 4. Okay. Now, what is the truth table for this? So you can see here the input is, D0, D0, D1, D2, D3. These are the inputs. Okay. So these are the D0, D1, D2, D3. These are the inputs. And A and B are the output. So when your D0 is active, as we discussed previously, whatever the inputs lines are there, in this input line, single input will be active at a time, not more than one. So if the D0 is active, then D0 will be 1, rest all are 0. In that case, your output will be 0, 0. A is 0, B is 0. If your D1 is 1, if the D1 is 1, D1 is 1, D1 is active, in that case, your output is 0, 1, and other inputs will be 0. Only one input is active at a time. If D2 is active, then output is 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. The rest all inputs will be what? 0 here. Similarly, if your D3 will be 1, D3 will be active. In that case, A is 1 and B is 0. These are in sequence 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. It is in sequence. Okay. So this is the truth table for the encoder circuit. Is it clear up to this? Not complicated. It is very simple. Next is, after the truth table, logical expression. So we get the logical expression from this. Here two outputs are there, A and B, two outputs are there. A is your A is 1 at this point and A is 1 at this point. Okay. So your A will be D2 plus D3, where it is 1. So at D2 it is 1 and D3 it is 1. So your A will be D2 plus D3. Clear? Similarly for B. For B, you can see it is 1 at this position, it is 1 at this position. Your B will be, you can see from the truth table, this is 1 at for the D1 at a certain time, and this is 1 for the D3 at a certain time. So for B, the expression will be D1 plus D3. So this is the logical expression for given encoder circuit. A equal to this and B equal to this. ठीक है? Next, after getting the logical expression, we will go for the logic circuit. So here D2 plus D3 OR gate. So D2, D3 OR gate, you will get the A here. Next for B equal to D1 plus D3. So here for output B, your D1 and D3 will be passing through a OR circuit. You will get the B. This is the logical circuit for A and D. Up to this, is it okay, everyone? Up to this clear? First, what is encoder circuit? So in case of encoder circuit, a number of inputs are there and a number of outputs are there. And how much it is? If your output is number is n, then your input will be either less than equal to 2 to the power n. Okay, either less than or equal to 2 to the power n. 2 to the power n से ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. Next is we discuss the very simple 4 to 2 encoder circuit. So 4 to 2 encoder circuit means 4 number of inputs and 2 number of outputs. 4 number of input means D0, D1, D2, D3. So this is a very simple encoder. Here n equal to 2. So if n equal to 2, your input will be 2 to the power n means equal to 4. So your input is either maximum 4 or less than 4. Okay. Next we discuss the truth table. Truth table input output. What are the inputs are there? So D0, D1, D2, D3. These are the inputs are there. A and B. This is output. In case of encoder, single input is active at a time. Single input, either D0 or D1 or D2 or D3. Depending on this, your output will be combination of zeros and one. Okay. So here when D0 is active, here you will get 0, 0. If D1 is active, you are getting 0, 1. If D2 is active, 1, 0. D3 active, 1, 1. Okay, very simple up to this. Then after truth table, we will write down the logical expression. For writing the logical expression, you can see logical expression कैसे हो गया? A1 कहाँ पे है? तो A is 1 at this position and this position. At this position and this position. So when A is 1, कहाँ 1 हो रहा है? ये D2 पे 1 हो रहा है. At a certain time for D2 it is on. So your A will be D2 and plus D3. यहाँ भी 1 हो रहा है. So D2 plus D3. This is the expression for A. Next is B. So B is 1 at this position. For D1, it will be 1 at a certain time. And B is also 1 for the D3 at a certain time. Okay. So we will get the logical expression for input for the output A and B. After getting the logical expression, we can easily draw the logic circuit. D2 plus D3. We need a OR gate. We will get A. D1 plus D3. D1 and D3 passing through the OR gate. We will get the B. So this is for the 4 to 2 encoder circuit. Okay. Next is octal to binary encoder or 8 to 3D encoder. Okay. Next topic is octal to binary encoder or 8 to 3 encoder. So in case of this octal to binary encoder, 8 number of inputs are there. 8 number of inputs are there and C number of outputs are there. So your n equal to 3. Here in this case, your output is maximum 2 to the power n. So here n equal to 3, to 2 to the power n means 8. So your number of output, number of input maximum is 8. It may be less than 8, but not greater than 8. So this is the, okay. So from D0 to D7, 8 number of input lines, and A to B, A, B, C, 3 number of output lines. 8 to 2, 8 to 3 input. By the same process, we can draw the truth table. Okay. Draw the truth table. By using the ABC, how many combinations? Starting from 0, 0 to all ones. So where your D0 will be active. When your D0 is active, when your D0 is 1, when your D0 is 1, your ABC is all 0. Next, when your D1 is 1, in case of encoder, one input is active at a time. So one D0 is active, all are 0, means inactive. Next, when your D1 is 1, it is 0, 0, 1. D2 is 1, 1, 0. D3 is 1, 1, 1. D4 is 1. It is, next number is 1, 0, 0. D4 is 1. Sorry, D5 is 1, not D4. It is D5. You can see it is D5. So when D5 is 1, your combination is 1, 0, 1. When D6 value is 1, it is 1, 1, 0. Next combination is 1, 1, 0. And when your D7 line is 1, in that case, all outputs are 1, 1, 1. So this is the truth table for 8 to 3 encoders. By using this ABC, by using this truth table, you can draw the logic expression same as the previous. So here in this case, you can see A is 1 at this position, this position, this position, and this position. So A is 1 at for D4, D5, D6, and D7. So for that, your A will be D4 plus D5 plus D6 plus D7. This is the logical expression for A. Okay, very simple. Next for B, same you can see here B is 1 at this position, means for D2, at this position means for D3, at this position means for D6, and at this position means for D7. So your B will be what? D2 plus D3 plus D6 plus D7. जहां जहां 1 हो रहा है, that position B will be D2 plus D3 plus D6 plus D7. Clear? Next will be same process. C कहाँ कहाँ 1 है? At this position C is 1, this position C is 1, this position C is 1, at this position C is 1. Wait a second. Yes, hello. Hello. Farhan, up to
हाँ
this,
सर
Up to this okay?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
যদি টাইম চায় তাহলে টাইম একটু দিতে পারবো, সে তোমরা নিজে থেকে করতে পারো। আমি একটা জাস্ট D3টা দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছি, না তারপর একটা তোমাদেরকে দিচ্ছি, সেটা তোমরা করো। ওকে, তো ইউ ক্যান সি হিয়ার সেম ফর সি, যেখানে যেখানে 1 আছে দ্যাট উইল বি for C at this position 1. So at this position it is D1. At this position it is what? D3. At this position it is D5. At this position it is D7. So your C will be, you can see, D1 plus D3 plus D5 plus D7. So this is the logical expression ABC. Next is, by using this logical expression, you can draw the logic circuit. So for logic circuit, you can see here, for logic circuit, all of you can see my screen.
হ্যাঁ স্যার দেখতে পাচ্ছি।
হ্যাঁ তো?
হ্যাঁ
Okay. So you can see D0 to D7, these are the inputs are there. And depending on the logical circuit, ABC, you pass this input through OR gate, you will get the output. So for A, you can see D4 plus D5 plus D6 plus D7. So this is D4, D5, D6 and D7. It is, these signals are passing through, or you will get the A. So depending on this output expression, depending on the output expression, you can draw this. Clear? Next for B, same, B equal to D2, D3, D6, D7. So B is D2, D3, D6 and D7. You will get the B here. Same your C. C is given D1, D3, D5, D7. So D1, D3, D5 and this is D7. You will get the C here. Okay. So this is the logical expression for the 8 to 3 encoders. Up to this clear? Next topic is decimal to BCD encoder. তো এটা তোমরা নিজে ড্রয়িং করো। In case of decimal to BCD encoder, decimal means কত? 10. So in case of decimal to BCD encoder, number of input is 10 and number of output is how much? If the number of input is 4, 10, yes. Yes, yes.
The number of output তো 4 হবে।
হ্যাঁ বলো বলো।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, নাম্বার অফ আউটপুট তো 4 হবে।
হ্যাঁ, if the number of input is 10, so for representing 10 inputs, you need 4 number of output. Okay. So same here, from A, B, C, D, 4 number of outputs are there. A, B, C, D. And your input is from D0 to D9. Same as previous. আগে কত ছিল? অক্টালে 8টা ইনপুট ছিল। So here in case of decimal, your number of input is 10. So there are 10 number of input from D0 to D9. Okay. So first all of you draw the block diagram for decimal to BCD encoder. Then write down the input and output, truth table, then logical expression, and after that circuit diagram. এটা আমি complete করিনি, চলো তোমরা করো। I will observe that. I think it is clear to all of you. What you have to do? First, you draw the block diagram. Decimal to BCD encoder means 10 number of inputs. For representing the 10 number of inputs, how many outputs are there? Kitna? If your number of output is 3, then your input is maximum 2 to the power 3 means 8. যদি এবার 8 থেকে যদি আউটপুট সরি your 8 থেকে যদি ইনপুটটা বেশি হয় suppose 10, then you will require more than 3 output. So here the number of output is 4. So if it is 4, then your input will be 2 to the power 4. 2 to the power 4 means 16. Okay. So your input lines will be maximum 16 or less than 16. So by using the 4 lines, 4 output, your input should be maximum 16 or less than 16. So in case of decimal to BCD encoder, the input is 10 and output is 4. So first you draw the block diagram, then input output, truth table, then logical expression, then circuit diagram. Chalo. All of you try to do this. I will give you 5 minutes. By the same logic I already discussed, all of you try to do this and submit in chat box. Aditya, Deepsika, Apurva, Vivek, Kostov, বুঝেছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার
করে ফেলো। आदित्य होगा ना?
सर हो जाएगा बट अभी हम नहीं कर रहे हैं।
चलो कर लो, करके सेंड करो, मैं देखूं क्या कह रहे हो तुम लोग। দেবাক্ষী করেছো?
স্যার করছি।
করো। तुम लोग के मल्टीप्लेक्सर से एक और टाइप का प्रॉब्लम है जो मैंने डिस्कस नहीं किया है, उसके ऊपर मैं एक सॉल्यूशन व कुछ सेंड कर दूंगा, उसको थोड़ा देख लेना, अगर नहीं समझ में आए तो पूछ लेना, फिर डिस्कस कर दूंगा क्लास में। इतने सारे टाइप के प्रॉब्लम है कि क्या कहा जाए। इट्स 36। हाँ टाइम दे वो। हम्म। थर्टी सेवन। चलो देखो, in case of decimal to BCD encoder, we already discussed 10 number of inputs are there from D0 to D9. 10 number of inputs and 4 number of outputs are there, A, B, C, D. So your input is D0 to D9, output is A, B, C, D. Okay. When your D0 is 1, your D0 is 1, D0 is active, your output is 0, 0, 0. When D1 is 1, next is here D is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. When D2 is active, after 0, 1, 1, 0. So it is 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. For D3, 1, 1. Okay. For D4, 1, 0, 0. D5, next combination is 1, 0, 1. For D6, 1, 1, 0. For D7, all B, C, D, all 1, A is 0. And after that, where for D8, your A is 1 and rest all are 0. B, C, D are 0. And for 9, your next combination is 1, 0, 0, 1. This is the truth table for decimal to BCD encoder. Okay. Now, by using this truth table, you have to draw the logical circuit. So for the A, you can see where it is 1. So it is 1 at this position and this position. So it is 1 for D8 and D9. Okay. So you can see this A is 1 for D8 and D9. Clear? So A equal to D8 plus D9. Next, you can see this B is your B is 1 for B is 1 for at this position. You can see my cursor. You can see my cursor. Your B is 1 at this position, means for D4, D5, D6, D7. Okay. So for this D D4 to D7, it is 1. So your B will be, you can see in the logical expression, B equal to D4 plus D5 plus D6 plus D7. Next is C. To C, 1 for at this position means D2. Your C is 1 at this position. 1 at this position, this position, this position, and this position. So here it is what? D2, then D3, then this is this one is what? This one is D6 and this one is D7. So your C will be D2 plus D3 plus D6 and plus D7. Okay. Same your D is 1 at this position, this position, this position, and this position. So for this, your D1 is 1. For this, your D3 is 1. For this, D5 is 1. Yes, D5. And for this, your D7 will be 1. So your D will be D1 plus D3. যেখানে 1 আছে সেগুলো summation. So this is the logical expression for A, B, C, and D. Okay. After getting the logical expression, same, you can draw the logical circuit. You can draw the logical circuit. সেটা আমি এখানে করিনি. All of you draw the logical circuit by the same manner. D0 to D9. Then here A, B, C, D. Whatever the expression you are getting, depending on that expression, you can draw the logical circuit. I think it is clear to all of you up to this. Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Next topic is there are some limitation of encoder circuit. What are the limitation here? Suppose you can see here you are getting A, B, C 0, 0, 0 at what position? When D0 is 1. So when D0 is 1, you are getting A, B, C 0, 0. Okay. If this all are 0 means agar D0 be 0 ho jaye, in that case what is the ABC? It is also A 0, 0, 0. If all these bits are 0, in that case also your ABC will be 0, 0, 0. So this is a contradict. For D0, for when D0 is active, you are getting 0, 0, 0, and when all are deactive, you are getting the 0, 0, 0. So for the two types of signal, you are getting same response across the output. This is one limitation. Other limitation is that either in case of encoder, one input is active at a time. But if suppose more than one input is active, in that case, your output will be you are not getting the proper output. If more than one input will be high. Okay, so these are the limitation of encoder circuit. Now, this limitation in a certain limit can overcome in case of priority encoder circuits. Okay, so what is the priority encoder circuit? Before that, we can see here all inputs are 0 or all inputs are 0 or D0 is 1, we get same output. Data मैं बोल रहा हूँ means you are getting ABC all 0 across the output. If you are getting all inputs are 0 or D0 will be 1. In these two cases, you are getting the same output. Second one is if more than one input is high, we get the invalid output in case of encoders. Data मैं बोल रहा हूँ if more than one input is active, then you are not getting the proper output. So these are the two limitation which will be overcome in case of next topic, priority encoder. So what is the priority encoder? First we go for that. What is priority encoder? A priority encoder is an encoder that includes the priority function. So priority function means suppose more than two input is active. In that case, we have to set the priority key, which one will be considered. If more than one is active, we have to set a priority key that this this input will be considered. It has the highest priority. Okay, so we set the priority. Next, the operation of the priority encoder is such that if two or more inputs are equal to 1 at same time, the input having highest priority will take precedence. মানে যেটা high priority হবে সেটা আমরা say across output you will get. মানে whatever the inputs are 1, whatever the priority is set, जिसका priority जाता होगा उसके according you will get the output. So this thing say priority encoder. Now first we discuss the very simple 4-to-2 priority encoder. So in case of 4-to-2 priority encoder, this is the block diagram. There are 4 number of inputs are there, D0, D1, D2, D3, D3. 4 number of inputs are there. And 2 number of outputs are there. A, B outputs are there. Beside that, there is a V valid output is there. There is a output signal V. It is called valid output. What is the function of V? We will discuss later on. Actually, now here in case of priority encoder, whatever the inputs are there, their priority is set. So priority is in this way. D3 priority is greater than D2, D2 priority is greater than D1, and D1 priority is greater than D0. So here you can see D3 priority is highest, then D2, then D1, then D0. D0 is the lowest priority. Okay. Now, truth table. देखो, this valid output in case of priority encoder, 3 outputs are there, A, V, and V0. And in 4 inputs are there, D0, D1, D2, D3. Now, this valid output is what is the function of this valid output? When this valid output is 0, when it is 0, when this all inputs are 0. When the all inputs are inactive, your valid output will be 0. Okay. So when the all inputs are inactive, your valid output will be 0. When any one of the D0, D1, D2, D3, when any one of the input is active, your V will be 1. Okay, V will be 1. Now, next suppose when the D0 is 1, So your V will be 1 because one input is active. So when D0 is 1, your output is 0, 0. A and B is 0, 0. For D1, 0, 1. For D2, achhe. Beside that, we can see when D0 is 1, D0 is 1, V1 is 1 and it is 0, 0. Next, when D1 is 1, in that case, what D1 priority is greater than D0. So whatever the value of D0, either it is 0 or 1, your output will be 0, 1 because D1 priority is high compared to D0. Okay, so this is the priority state here. Okay, so it is for D1 is 1, output is 0, 1. Next is for D2 is 1. So when the D2 is 1, this D0 and D1 priority is, this D0 and D1 priority is less than D2. So when D2 will be 1, your output is 1, 0, and D0 and D1, whatever the input are, either it is 1 or it is 0, it is not significant if the D1 is 1 because D2 is high priority compared to this 2. Okay, so depending on the D2, we will get the output here. Same for the D3. When the D3 is on 1, D3 priority is highest compared to D0, D1, D2. So your output will be generated depending on the D3 input. So here it is 1, 1. So up to this clear, everyone? What is priority encoder? Function of priority encoder? Yes, no? Can I change the screen?
हाँ सर.
Okay. Oh. आज के लिए बस इतना ही. I will take the attendance. Just wait for a second. Roll number up to 60.
Yes sir, 60.
60. Up to sorry, up to 65. 63. 63. Up to 65. IT up to 65. IT up to 70.
Sir, 63.
Sir, 69.
63 okay. 69 okay. Up to 75.
Sir, 71.
71.
Sir,
Yes, up to
Sir,
77.
70.
Not clear. Voice is not clear.
Sir, 74.
74
Sir,
okay.
59.
74 okay.
Sir, 59.
69 done. 69 हो गया. चिराग
59.
क्या?
Sir, 59.
59 हो गया. Okay, next up to 80.
Sir, 80.
80. Up to 78. Okay, Pratik. Up to 80, anyone?
81, sir.
81. Okay, Anuj. Up to 85. Up to 85. Wait a second. Up to 85.